The irony of him getting flames tattooed on his neck hours before he was to die in flames.
Some people have called me a murderer.
It was a cold New England day, but the excitement in the air for us was just, it was unparalleled.
Looking at my friend Derek directly in the eyes. That was it. Never saw him again.
96 bodies have been recovered and 7 so far have been identified. They say they may have to resort to medical records, dental records, and DNA with some of the other bodies.
A bouncer that several people identified as turning them away from the band door, casually smoking a cigarette above a box labeled "Danger Explosive."
How can you not prosecute that person? How many people did he kill?
He said, I was in there, Bob. I saw it happen. He said, I videotaped it.
How can there be 100 deaths and people only do 16 months?
They did their quick hit and they moved on with their politics. And we're all left to live with it.
Joe's not a religious guy. He doesn't pray. But he says I was talking to whoever would listen, that I had to get out so that I could be with my daughter.
These are the soundtracks of our lives.
It's the one thing in life that we all have in common. That's why all those people were there.
No indictments were sought against either the fire marshal, Dennis LaRoque, or the head of Jack Russell's Great White, that is Jack Russell.
I want to go see that memorial. Jack receives, and I'm sure the other band does also, receives death threats from people in Rhode Island.
He said the lead singer was here, I did a tattoo on him, we got pictures, and he put us on the guest list.
Whenever you think it's not going to happen, it could happen.
And I'm sure right up to 11 o'clock that night, everybody on the guest list thought it was the luckiest day of their life.
They just came out, to see me sing.
It was the perfect storm that all came together in one split second.
And the big problem was that the clearly culpable defendants had no money. A bouncer that several people identified as turning them away from the band door because they were not with the band, casually smoking a cigarette above a box labeled "Danger Explosive."
How can you not prosecute that person? How many people did he kill?
The irony of him getting flames tattooed on his neck hours before he was to die in flames.
He said, I was in there. I saw it happen. He said, I videotaped it.
It was a big papier-mâché cardboard box of the club. I mean, hell shit, yeah, it's gonna go up in flames.
I said, well, you worked for 7 years on this thing? And I said, yeah, it would have been a whole lot easier if this was the Rolling Stones at the Hollywood Bowl.
Most of the time I see pre-burn image. I even dream in pre-burn image. Any of the dreams that I'm in while I'm sleeping, I'm not burned. Just something in my mind doesn't let me dream that way.
Rhode Island's a pretty small state.
I want to hang it right out front.
And so, while you may not know someone that perished in the fire, there was a high likelihood that you knew somebody that knew someone.
But that's your church.
That's mine.
So then later on we had heard that Paula's brother and his wife had perished in the fire.
Could what we were doing match
catch up to her vision.
Opening night was the hardest for me, because that's when I got the emotions of the whole community. It wasn't words that were spoken, it was expressions on faces. And those are very hard to describe. You learn these stories and you fall in love with these people. Everybody who we contacted had something to offer, either by their story or their efforts into the project, from the volunteers. It was just heart and soul all the way through.
It was really like the whole community kind of got behind us. It took on a life of its own.
You want to be cohesive in every gallery, so it not only tells the story of the victims and the survivors and but it also tells the story of the tattoos.
We can just do this one and we're done.
This was a gift to Paula's mother. Watching this person walk into a gallery that you just helped create.
I stayed away, and I knew in my head I was going to start doing Station Ink, and I needed to meet a lot of these survivors. I was ready. From that moment on, we were one community.